Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi at-tahirin. Wa salamu taslima. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we are going to start our first semester of Aklaaq. What is Aklaaq? Aklaaq is the science of morality. It shows us how to develop moral traits which make it easy to do good actions, and how to get rid of vices and which make it easy to do bad things, because vices make it easy to do bad things, how to remove those vices from us, and how to purify our soul and adorn ourselves with moral qualities. So before we start, we want to lay a foundation. We want to put, because when you build a building, you have to first put a foundation. You have to make the basement and put a floor in it, put the pillars, you have to lay the bricks, everything must be level. We have to put a foundation first. What is the foundation? The most important thing to practical intellect, which concerns our do's and don'ts, is acting upon them. Is acting upon those notions of good and staying away from those notions of bad. So in Surah Al-Saf, ayat number 2 and ayat number 3 of the Holy Quran, we find Ya Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu lima takuluna ma la tafalun kabura maktana inda Allahi an takulu ma takalu ma la tafaluna. Sorry, my recitation was a little off on the one word there, so I repeated the last verse. So it's kabura maktana inda Allahi an takulu ma la tafalun. So what does it say? It says, O you who believe, Ya yuha aladhina amanua. Lima, why? Takaluna, why do you say? Ma la tafaluna, what you do not do. What you do not do. Kabura is like kabir. Kabir we use as big. It's not like great like something good all the time. It's like great like something enormous, something big, something large or older. So it like we use sagir is the opposite of kabir. It means small or younger too. Or kabir is big or older, or kubra, So this gives a sense of largeness, big. It says kabura maktana. It's a big, very big, a large abhorsion, a large dislike, hatefulness. Inda Allahi, with Allah, an takulu, that you say ma la tafalun, what you do not do. It is hateful to Allah, a big hate. Allah very much abhors it, that you say what you do not do. So when we say that we believe in Allah and we'll follow Allah and we'll be good people, we'll do moral things, it's hateful to Allah. And Allah hates it. Allah abhors it. It's repugnant. Allah is so exalted where even these words cannot even say it. The fact is that it's so hated by Allah. It's so shunned by Allah that you say what you do not do. We see in this ayat of the Holy Quran that not doing what we say is maktan to Allah. What is maktan? Well, makata is to abhor, to dislike, or to abominate. And as a noun, it means aversion, detestation, odium, hate, repugnance. Look how severe it is, and look how Allah has said it. Allah Ta'ala has said in Quran, just two ayats, has told us this amazing notion of how we need to act on what we say. We say we believe in Allah, we say we submit to Allah, we call ourselves Muslims, we call ourselves believers. But are we doing what we say? Are we doing what we say? So this is a major foundational point, a major pillar per se, that must hold up your moral life, must hold up your religious life, is that you do not say what you do not do. So remember this ayat. Remember this idea. Remember that you have to do what you say. You believe in Allah. What is belief in Allah? You have to do it according to what you know. You know about Allah. You know that you have to serve Allah. You know that He's your master. You know that He's your sustainer. He's your Rabb. But do we do what we say? Do we produce actions from the belief? Because being a mu'min is more than just believing something subjectively. Because believing something subjectively is like, if I have an idea in my mind and I know that idea is true, so I believe it, or maybe I think it's true and it's not true, so I believe it. That's not what we mean by belief. We mean a belief that's supported by sound intellectual proofs, that produces an action, that produces actions. So like we believe that there is no God except for Allah and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and we act upon that. We pray, we give zakat, we do moral deeds, we treat people with respect, we do all these requirements, we act justly, we have chastity, we have courage, we have wisdom, we develop moral traits, we act morally, we refine the soul, we do what Allah has told us to do, what's wajib. We even want to do what's mustahab. We want to stay away from makruh. We definitely stay away from what's haram. We want to even make our mubah maybe. Maybe even we want to make our mubah, we want to make it something that helps us get closer to Allah. So we put in the intention to get nearer to Allah, because if you put an intention to get nearer to Allah in any action, that's in a way that you're serving Allah or coming closer to Allah or doing it for Allah's pleasure or staying away from it so that way you stay away from Allah's displeasure, or avoiding it because Allah has forbidden it. If we put that intention into it, we will be flourishing and growing closer to Allah in our soul and purifying our soul. But the number one thing that we must remember is we must do what we say. We must do what we say. So in light of this, there's a verse of the Holy Quran which says, had it been an easy gain and a moderate trip, the hypocrites would have followed you. But the distance to them was the journey. And they will swear by Allah, if we were able, we would have gone forth with you, destroying themselves. And Allah knows that they are indeed liars. So look at this. Yes, this has a context for back then. It has a context historically, but let's just look at the notions behind it. We're not saying this is the meaning of the verse. We're just saying, look at the ideas, the moral, the value, the quality that behind it. That we say that we're with the Prophet, but are we following the Sunnah and the Quran? Are we following his Ahlul Bayt? Are we doing good moral actions? Are we like these hypocrites who said that they would follow, but the distance was too long? They thought the trip was too hard. Is it too hard then? Is it too hard to fix your soul? Is it a long journey to develop moral traits? It may be hard and difficult, It may be. It may be even easy at some points. But it may be hard and difficult. It may be a long journey. You may spend 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years purifying your soul. But are you going to give up? No. Or are you a liar and you come and you say, we are able. We would have gone with you. But you're able. You're able to obey Allah. You're able to develop moral traits. You're perfectly able. Allah has created you with the potential to become a good person. Your whole purpose for your creation is to come closer to Allah, to know Allah. And you have to become a refined person to be able to do that. So don't think that because the journey is long to purify yourself, that it is not possible to do. You are able. Do not fall back like a hypocrite and say, it's too hard for me to become a good person. It's too hard for me to obey Allah. It's not too hard. It is difficult. Everything involves a kind of difficulty. There's always difficulty in everything. Everything has a little bit of difficulty. Some it's unnoticed that you have to put efforts forward, but you're using your energy and such to put efforts forward. Everything takes effort, and everything has a little bit of difficulty. It takes difficulty just to say your prayers on time in a day, or say your prayers during a day, to make yourself get up when you're tired and go pray. But this difficulty is good. There's a hadith out there that says that the best deed is the most difficult one. Truly, if it's a little difficult and the journey's hard and you're getting closer to Allah, don't fall back and say you're not able. You're perfectly able to do it. People have accomplished it before you. So, we want to set these two criteria here. First, that we have to do what we say. Second, that we must be prepared to take a long journey in our life to purify our souls for the sake of Allah. Unless we are hypocrites and we fall back and we say the journey is too hard, and if we were able. But we are able. Allah has made us able. And even if the journey was long or short, it does not matter. So in Ghurur al-Hikmah, Imam Ali alayhi salam says, the good doer is the one whose words are affirmed by his action. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, the good doer is the one whose words are affirmed by his actions. The Arabic word for aklaaq refers to virtue and morality. Because some translate aklaaq as disposition, good conduct, nature, temper, ethics, morals, or character. Aklaaq actually comes from khulq, which is opposite to khalq. So we have this khalq. Khalq is like external creation. Like the outside of the body is called khalq. And the internal is called khulq. Inside, the internal. So khalq is external creation and khulq is internal creation. Hence, in those inner moral traits, aklaaq refers to inner moral traits or inner dispositions that correspond to that faculty which is the source of all the actions and activities of the human soul. If a person develops these khulq qualities, they will act according with them easily. So if a person gets these qualities in the soul, it'll become easy to do good all the time. It'll be easy to do good in the spot. Like if a person is courageous. If a person is courageous and they see some poor person getting robbed or some poor person getting beat up, they're going to take steps in a rational way to help that person, to help that poor person, to help that innocent person. This is a moral quality. Ethics or morality is therefore the study of what is morally good or bad. And good moral virtues are means to attain true humanity and perfection. To be truly human, one must not exceed the limits of animality and rise higher than the angels. Since the angels do not have animal desires, humans can ascend higher according to the struggle to abolish evil traits and make the animal self, nafsul amara, under the control of the true human soul. You see, humans have these aspects. Humans have an animal aspect, which relates to desires, and maybe even protective anger, and things like this. But angels, they're intellectual beings, they don't have this. They're rational, wise, intellectual beings. Their food is tasbih. Their food is dhikr of Allah. You know? So when the human has an aspect of animality, and as well as an aspect of intellectualism, because the human soul is an intellectual substance, is an intellectual being. It is an intellect. It is a thinking being. It's an akli nafs. So from the aspect of animality, there are some things that are essential to human survival, like being able to be protective, or regeneration of the human race, or eating and drinking so the body can function and one can live to do good deeds and such, or help and build good in the world. So, but this animal thing, this animal part, must be overruled by the intellect. If it is not, then the animal part overrules the intellect and uses the imagination and all these tools that are very great tools in the wrong way. So to be higher than the angels is because we have this kind of struggle. We have this struggle with animality that they don't have, which if we succeed against, we are definitely higher than the angels. But if we do not succeed and we fall into animality and go against intellect, then we are worse than the animals. So the bad qualities and vices deform the human and place him in line with, or even worse than, the beast. This is again due to the fact that human ability is greater than animal self. And if animal self controls all other aspects of the human soul, it will abuse and misuse these features. Islam does not accept vicious animality in its laws, ethics, or beliefs. Rather, it supports a true human life that benefits from the use of nafsul amara, the animal self, the commanding self, in accordance with the intellect. An example is of this. Gluttony causes many maladies. Maladies mean sicknesses. However, Islam teaches us not to be extravagant, not to be excessive. And not to exceed bounds, and to eat what we need, but not to usurp the rights of others. So not to steal or cheat people out of things, etc. So this will be our first part of our lesson. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.